Hello everyone, and welcome to the Tactical Tavern. I'm your host Tomas Alas, and in this video, we're reviewing Cold Steel Recon 1, which you may have seen in my everyday carry video. Since this is our first review, we're going to be introducing the Tactical Tavern Test based on price, functionality and design, dependability, versatility, and carryability. Each section is going to have 5 possible points, totaling 25 overall. All right, let's cut into it. Starting off with price, this knife retails from Cold Steel's website for around $177. However, I found some more cost-effective options and I'll make sure to link those below. For what you get, I feel that this knife offers immense value. Now, there are some competitive options for this price point, and that's why this gets an overall score of 4 out of 5 for price. Some people may want to look at something a little bit cheaper but still have some of the functionality. Now, let's see what you're getting for all that price with functionality and design. This knife has 3 different blade shapes, specifically clip point bowie, tanto, and spear point. I really dig the variety in designs because there's something in here for everyone. The blade length measures in at 4 inches and is DLC coated, standing for diamond light coating. I really enjoy this coating because it smoothly glides through materials and holds up very well against everyday wear and tear. The handle length is 5.4 inches and made from G10, which is a ballistic fiberglass epoxy resin. The handle shape is very well contoured and allows for multiple grips when choking up on the blade for fine whittling tasks to grabbing the very end of the blade and being able to really hack with the knife. Because this is not a fixed blade, I don't recommend hacking with it often. However, the lock is strong enough that you should be able to get away with it in a pinch. Now, I did have to sand down the inside contours of the handle because it was a little bit too sharp for my liking. However, you might find that it adds really great grip when using the knife. For me, and using it for long periods of time, I'd recommend just making sure it's smooth enough that it won't create any hot spots in your hand. The Recon 1 is not a petite knife by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel that it is more than suited for a variety of tasks. The main opening mechanism is a thumb stud that is semi-ambidextrous. Listen to that lockup. You may have noticed on my Recon 1 that I added an attachment that allows me to wave deploy the knife. That means as I pull the knife out of my pocket, it automatically grabs the knife and is ready to go. This attachment comes from Snaggle Tooth Tactical and works on a variety of knives. I'll make sure to provide a link below. When buying your Recon 1, make sure that you buy the updated model with CPM S35VN. This is going to provide you with long-lasting wear resistance and a really sharp edge that you won't have to maintain in the field. I really love the extra screws that Cold Steel puts in on the opposite side of the clip. Not only does this keep dirt out of the holes, but it also allows you to carry extra screws in case something goes missing. The smoothness of this knife is very enjoyable and has a great action because of the phosphorus bronze washers. It really is a joy to open and close. Lastly is the locking mechanism, and this one comes from Andrew Demko, called the Triad Lock, capable of holding 330 pounds of lock pressure. Overall, this knife scores a 5 out of 5 on functionality and design. Being able to hold so much weight and protect the hands makes it something you can really rely on, which brings me to my next reviewed point, dependability. There are so many reasons why first responders love this knife. It really is dependable. In a high stress situation, you can't be fumbling around with a tool that doesn't work, and the Recon 1 solves that problem. I have personally dumped this knife in the mud, brought it to the beach, carried it on a whitewater rafting trip, beaten the crap out of it, and it still works. There is a reason this is the first knife I go to if I know there's going to be extended hard use tasks, or if I'm taking a long trip away from home, I want something that I can rely on. And for me, it's the Recon 1. There is no question about this knife's dependability. It scores 5 out of 5. The materials, the design, and the locking mechanism all attribute to the overall dependability of the Recon 1. I have no problem trusting my life on the Recon 1 or recommending it to a friend who just needs an everyday carry blade, or even a tactical professional looking for something more hard use. This brings me to my next point, versatility. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Cold Steel Recon 1 comes in 3 different blade shapes. Here I have the clip point bowie and the tanto. What I like about the tanto is the reinforced tip that allows for great penetration and durability, whereas the clip point bowie offers amazing slicing capabilities because of that long belly. It's introducing fresh edge to whatever you're cutting. Now, I do want to mention that the Cold Steel Recon 1 tanto does have a hollow grind, which means that it's very thin behind the edge and can still hold its weight with slicing capabilities. But if you want the most for general everyday carry tasks, I would recommend the clip point bowie. The last blade shape is the spear point. Now, the reason why I don't have that one is because I already purchased a Code 4, which brings me to competitors. Namely, the 2 Cold Steel competitors are the Code 4 and the AK-47. What I like about the Code 4 is the slim design. However, it does lack in the grip department, which is something to consider. I would recommend the Code 4 if you wear dress pants more often because it will not rip your jeans. The other competitor is the AK-47, which is slightly smaller than the Recon 1 and also offers a wave deploy feature right in the blade with the thumb disc. Lastly is an offering from Columbia River Knife and Tool, also known as CRKT. Although somewhat lacking in the blade materials department, this beautiful blade blends the combination between a dress knife and a tactical knife. The Recon 1 is an amazing everyday carry knife, capable of doing fine cutting tasks such as creating a feather stick or stabbing into the side of a car door for a rescue. This knife can handle it all. Ultimately, this knife scores a 4 out of 5 on versatility. It's great and fantastic, however, some people might find that it's a little bit too big for their everyday carry. If that is the case and you still like what you've heard so far, I would recommend checking out the newest edition of the Recon 1, that is the Mini, coming in with a 2-inch blade length and the same great features. Lastly is carryability, and I believe this knife wins in that department because it is thin both lengthwise and widthwise. Especially if you go with the Tonto blade shape, it's going to be a little bit thinner in the pocket than the clip point Bowie. What I also love is the ambidextrous pocket clip, which is great for left-handed people. Now, that clip does take some getting used to and a little bit of a break-in period because it is so stiff. So be cautious of that and make sure to break it in on pants that you don't love. This knife is also very easy to carry because it is so lightweight, giving you a high strength to weight ratio and not weighing down your pocket like, say, a Cold Steel Espada. Reviews on that coming soon. I also like the small clip that they went with because it's very discreet and rides very low in the pocket and doesn't scream, "I'm carrying a knife," but still allows you to be prepared, but on the subtle side. Overall, this knife scores a 4 out of 5 on carryability. The reason why it doesn't score a 5 is because it's a little bit too bulky for dress pants and the G10 could shred those pants. Once the break-in period is done, this knife will be an amazing carry and you won't regret purchasing one. If you love hiking, camping, and adventure, or are a little bit rough on your tools, or enjoy carrying something that has a variety of utilitarian uses, this knife is for you. You can rely day in and day out on this knife and it will be there for you when you need it most. The Cold Steel Recon 1 is an excellent tactical knife, food prep knife, or everyday carry dream. No matter what blade shape you go with, you'll love it. The final rating for this knife is 23 out of 25 points, with an overall score of 92%. This knife certainly passes the Tactical Tavern Test and I'll be ready for your next adventure wherever it leads you. All right, everyone, that wraps up the review of the Cold Steel Recon 1. If you agree or disagree with the review, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And while you're there, make sure to subscribe and leave a like because it helps support the channel. Also, don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on Tactical Tavern Tuesdays and Thursdays. With that being said, be prepared, be practical, stay tactical.